Welcome everybody to this space where I would like to share with you some benefits of making your own art. Recently, just a couple of months, I discovered art, or my passion also for art. This journey for me has been overwhelming of positivity. Also, all the benefits that I discovered for your mental health and overall well-being is worth to be shared. Probably all of you are aware of the mental health issues and mental health concerns these days, and of course the terminology about anxiety and stress control probably are very much familiar to you. Not everybody tells you very openly how to manage your anxiety, and this is something I discovered recently while doing art. When I began to do art, it was at the moment I was in a very bad situation. I normally control my anxiety or stress by doing the sports. At that period, earlier this year, I had a very serious bad injury that it was lasting for very long. I was very afraid that it was not going to recover at all. I was not that patient. And then, because I couldn't move, that it was my way to deal or manage with anxiety, I have to find other sources to keep my mind busy. And then I discovered art. But it was so fulfilling for me that it is something that I would like to keep in my life until I am very old. One of the things I discovered while doing art that I would like to share with you to create maybe awareness is that sometimes we are in a situation where probably there is a lot of negativity. So this anxiety and stress normally are under control if you are surrounded by a very healthy circle of friends, family, relative, your safe space. Especially these times where many people are moving from one country to another one, that circle of friends or safety might not be always there. So you have to deal with anxiety and stress in a different way. So I want to give you an extra tool that you can use in case you need it, and I will tell you why. So one of the benefits I found out while making art is that you can detect a pattern of negative thought. At that moment, I realized that you have these voices or this thought that comes to you unconsciously. You can be very focused on doing mindfully your activity, any activity. Can be cooking, can be doing exercise, but then this unconscious thought come to your mind, and then you notice it comes one more time, and then one more time, and then you realize it was coming from a place that you don't recognize. While doing this activity, I also noticed that these thoughts are slowly going away. So this is one of the reasons why I found it very positive. The second reason I would tell is questioning your irrational fears, some irrational belief. For instance, I was afraid that my back maybe was not going to fully recover, and that was my irrational fear because I was not 100% sure that that was that bad. So at the moment you're questioning, try to don't be certain about things that you don't know. Be in the present time. The third thing, everybody tells you to do some meditation. There are many ways to do meditation. There are some type of meditation that you can do by exercising of breathing, also by thinking of colors. But I also realized by doing art can be also an exercise or a sort of meditation. Visualization, that for me is the most important part of making art, because when you want to create something, you have to visualize first. By designing your art, it is a way of visualization. For instance, you can visualize a place where you are feeling the most peaceful and calm possible. So that place or activity that brings you to a positive state. And then you visualize it before you make it, while you are making it, while you are painting, and then you look at your paint every day. So the time of visualization and connection to that feeling is prolonged, it is extended, and that's why it's highly positive to create art. Okay, once you realize about all the benefits of making your own art, of course you don't want to let all the benefits go away. So to keep up with the benefits in a long term, you can realize that every time you feel tension or stress, you start to having cravings for food, but processed food, especially sugar craving or not the most healthy food. If you realize about this, then you have to be conscious that there are different types of foods. Some of them improve your health by reducing anxiety and stress, but others, such as sugar and processed food, actually make it worse. But just be aware that there are some foods that help you to deal with anxiety and others that make it worse. The other point that I want you to keep very present is that you have to prioritize your sleeping time. Keep it between 7 and 9 hours per day. Of course, sometimes it's not possible, but try to make it in a balanced way. It will help a lot with your mental health. And the most important point that I want you to keep in mind is to try to identify every factor of stress in your life. One of the tips that I can recommend you is to reducing quite a lot the continuous follow-up of the news, because most of the time they bring you to a bad state of being afraid, because most of the time the news are always about bad things happening in the world, like this for many years. So if you really pay attention to only the bad news, it will bring you to a state of anxiety and stress. Always remember, in those moments that you feel those peaks of anxiety, I want you to remember at those moments that you are always under control, and these emotions are only temporary. You know what to do. You know that it will go away. One of the factors that can help you to improve your mental health is to be thankful. Thankful for your life. Thankful for every positive side of every bad situation. To summarize, managing anxiety is an ongoing process that you have to keep on working. You can use different strategies or combine several of them. You can also experiment with different approaches, whatever it suits you the best. Don't hesitate to search for professional help. Currently, I live in the Netherlands. Sometimes the professional help is very difficult to find. The long waiting list, the inability, there are scarcity of psychology in the Netherlands. So this is why I would like to share with you some tools that you can use while you are under a bad state. So I'm very glad that you listen until here, and then I hope you find it very useful. Probably see you soon.